and beat the devil out of it. That really is the fun part of this whole technique. I have more pleasure just beating the brush than anybody in the country. I have people now that write me letters and say they have no desire to paint. They just bought a brush so they can beat it and take out their frustrations. That's okay. That's okay.
All right.
Jeepers. All right.
I know. Why do we so much? We don't even know who she is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from our commercial break. We all came back and sat in our assigned seats. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, JK'z. I am joined with, as always, Mr. Eric Evans and George Muzzy. If you're familiar with the first part, we were talking about what we want to do, some stuff on our bucket list, and coincidentally, we all said that we wanted to travel. I came up with a scenario that what if somebody gave you $15 or $15,000? Where would you travel? And we all gave our insights. But now these two gentlemen have come up with, a version of what would we do when we got to our destination. So I'm going to start with George this time because if our listeners can hear Eric, he's breathing really heavy because he hates going first. And George put the bait down. So George, if you were given that $15,000 and you and your wife decided to go on, what would you be doing?
So my Alaskan trip, obviously I want to stop along places along the coast. But when we arrive in Alaska, the one thing I've always wanted to do, a friend at work just did it. They went on an Alaskan cruise last year.
I got a friend, man.
I want to get on a helicopter and fly over the glacier. That's like a tour that they do up there. You fly right over the glacier. Even in the summer, obviously, the glacier's always there. But you get on the helicopter and you fly over and you see the glacier from a different point of view than just, oh, wow, look, a big iceberg.
Yeah.
You fly over it. And you get to see, obviously, on the iceberg, you would see the wildlife. I mean, because they still live in the cold, and they're built for the cold. So that's what I'd like to do. In Alaska. That's one of the things I want to do. There's other things, obviously, but that's the main thing I'd love to do.
Yeah.
In Rio, I know everybody, wants to go to the beach and whatnot. I actually want to go and stand at the feet of Jesus the Redeemer. He's up on the mountain. You know the statue I'm talking about?
Yeah,
the big Jesus with his arms out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I'd like to go. I want to go up there. Most people go to Rio. They just want to check out the strip, do the. I mean, especially if you're on a cruise, you couldn't do that. You might not have time to do it if you wanted to see all of the I'd want to see the strip. I mean, I've been, I know Eric's talked about he's gone to Myrtle Beach several times, many times. I've been there twice, and both times we checked out the ocean, but we also went down the strip to see all the different things.
Yeah.
I like doing that, see what's there, what's available, what you can do, other than party at the beach,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, I would like to do that. But like I said, if we have 15,000 and I just drove there, I have I have as long as I need, as long as I'm not rushed, I can check out the strip, and then tomorrow I can go up and stand at the feet, and
definitely. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
To be honest, when we were off camera and you said that there was something you wanted to do in Alaska. I had no idea that that's what it would have been. So that's
And like I said, I don't think you would want to do that.
I would. I don't mind flying.
In a helicopter, though, it's not. I know you hate heights.
You'll hold me.
Maybe me, your wife, and the rest of us can, my wife and the rest can go on, and you can hold our things, by the helicopter pad.
I would go in a helicopter. I would, because it sounds. Yeah. I think that would be really, really just something that.
Yeah. Because in the helicopter they got the windows. They got more windows, and they're bigger windows. I mean, the helicopters they take have big picture windows, so you can see everything around you. you know.
Absolutely.
And if I see something on my side, I can say, "Oh, look, there's a polar bear over there," and everybody can go run over and can look over and see the polar bear. You know, maybe there's a couple polar bear cubs, frolicking in the snow.
Oh,
And
now I
on
want
the
to
other
go.
side, there's some some moose or something. I don't know,
Now
but
I want. Now I want to go. I mean, because that's
I'm,
probably how I die.
I
Riding a pet.
mean, like I said, all of these animals that are built for the cold weather, they live up on the glacier a lot. I don't know
Right.
if moose do, but I know like the polar bears would, probably the Arctic, when that the
Penguins?
seals, the walruses, things like that, they're probably up there.
Oh yeah.
I'd say
Huh.
penguins, but they're in the southern hemisphere, so
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did not see that coming, George. I'm not mocking you. It's not what, no. I
yeah,
didn't.
it's he said now, and that was the thing. And the weird thing is like I said, my friend at work did it, and I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but actually, he's scared of heights.
Okay.
And he still
And
did
he
it.
said he was okay with it. He goes, at first it was a little, I wasn't, but he goes, overall it was a good experience.
Yeah,
But
I agree with that.
but
Absolutely.
I don't know why I didn't think of it, that because I had mentioned that he had done it, and there's one job at work he will not do. He never wanted to be trained on it, and Jeff knows the job I'm talking about.
No.
Forklift driver?
We have a forklift that goes about that. When it goes up, you raise up with it, and you can be 20 to 30 feet off the ground on this machine.
Oh,
And I've taken pictures from the top just to
Yeah.
send to Jeff.
Hell no. No. So,
make you think a little bit.
Mr. Eric.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you would do along your vacation, your travel?
So I want to go down Route 66 and see all the different things that people have on Route 66. That's the famous,
Yeah. They have a lot of old
highway.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have a
Parts
lot of
are different.
old, like the gas stations are made to, some of them are still made to look, I mean, they're obviously modernized, but they're made to look like some of them aren't, but a lot of them are made to look like they did 50, 100, 50, 75 years ago.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
want to see all that, and then I want to go
Yeah, so go ahead, Eric. You're
Lake
driving
City,
down
Utah.
Okay.
Yep. And then find my way to Salt Lake City, Utah, and go to the Salt Flats, where they
What's
do the
that?
world record speed stuff up on the.
Okay.
Yeah, just to spend some time there and check it out, and just actually walk on sand and look at the views and what it looks like. Different than what it would look like in a video or in a picture. I've seen it many times. It looks really cool. And then I would head out to the east, to the West Coast, into San Diego, and take in some of the local, just historical monuments. Walk the beach, the avenues, the tourist attractions, things that you just don't see unless you go there. You know what I mean? All the ins and outs of San Diego, and go up into Los Angeles, to check out some of the movie industry, and different things, history of that, and then go down in the beaches and spend some time on the ocean, and then maybe take a boat tour if they're available. To go out and just, I've been on the Atlantic coast. I haven't been on the Pacific side. To see some of the sights and the views of what's the difference. I mean, it's all beach, yes, but it's different. It's the West Coast style.
Right.
Try to take in some of the car museums that are out there. There's a lot of car museums, famous car museums, that are very wealthy car collectors that I'd like to see some, one-off. Some of them are movie cars. Some are just, race cars, collector cars. I'm talking big money stuff,
Right.
It's just, unless you go there, you can't see it.
Right.
And then I would head up to Seattle and try to take a boat and go out and, whale watch and see those big, if you hit it the right time of year, that's the problem up there.
Right.
If you miss it, then you miss it, to see them come up through from the south. But I'm not even sure what time that year that is, honestly. I'd have to do some research on it. But, and then, I definitely want to go to Alaska, like George was saying.
Yeah.
Until he mentioned Alaska, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, that
Beautiful
I've
up there.
heard it's just. I mean, not like I said. Obviously, summertime. You don't want to. You go in the winter. What are you going to see? You're going to see snow.
Yeah.
We know what you're going to see.
I had a friend of mine just took his family 2 months ago. They went on a cruise out there for 2 weeks, and it was part of it was good, and the other part it wasn't so good. They hit it at the wrong time. It was kind of
right.
It wasn't what they thought it was going to be, but it was still really good. It
Yeah,
was definitely worth going.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
And because 2 months ago, I mean, the weather could be starting to change already up there.
Yeah.
So, right.
Yeah. I mean, being that being so close to the Arctic Circle, and
it gets dark too. Certainly.
It
gets dark.
Yeah,
so
and that's the other thing is I'd want to go in the summer anyway because the days would be longer.
Right.
I'd leave in like April or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That so the days aren't like 19, 20 hours long. Maybe a little closer to the middle, but
as soon as the time
things are starting to get things are starting to open. And
right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, it's fun. I like hearing it because you guys already have a plan and an idea. I guess for me, we're on a cruise. If we stop at, say, I don't know, I don't even know what the port is over in Spain, and if we're there for 8 to 10 hours, I'm getting off the ship and I'm walking around Spain. I want to see as much culture as I possibly can see over there. I want to try.
Absolutely.
I want to try food that I can't even pronounce, and I have to buy a vowel or whatever,
just something different.
Unless I can smell it and it's already burning my insides, I'm not gonna try. I want to just like all the landmarks, like what you said, Eric. All the tourist attractions. So if
I love that stuff.
If we stop at Hawaii, I want to go see the active volcano there, or just depending on what island you're on. If we go up to Alaska. One of the things that I always wanted to see, other than a polar bear, is the Northern Lights.
Right.
Yeah. That's cool.
If we're up in Alaska and we're able to pet wildlife, stop me because I will try to go pet wildlife. But anyways, George would be like, yeah, how close can you get? But I think I would love to see the Northern Lights. Wherever we were docked or stopped or whatever, I would research what the landmarks and the historical stuff, and I would just sit there and just just be like, obviously you could tell that I would be a tourist because I would be just in awe of everything. Just I want to take in so much. And yes, if I'm down in Australia, I'm not going to try to fight a kangaroo, but I'd probably want to see what was in the pouch. But
right. Right. Yeah. I dare you to touch a kangaroo.
Yeah. Want to see the sights and want to try the local food.
Yeah.
I think that's a key to people when they travel. Is what they need to do is see the sights, but also try the local food.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how many times I hear people, they go on vacation and they go to IHOP for breakfast. They go to, I'm like, we have IHOP in Rochester.
Yeah.
In Syracuse. You don't have to go across the country to get to an IHOP.
Some people like their coffee.
I will recommend, and we do have one in Rochester. I don't know if they do the roller skating, but I would recommend if somebody goes out into the Midwest and in Texas and all that you go to a Sonic.
Never been.
Well, there's one in Rochester, but when I was in Texas, they're all over the place in Texas. And they will, if you could pull up. I know the one up here in Rochester has the pull-up things, but I don't think they come out on roller skates. In Texas, if you pulled up in your car and ordered, there's like a kiosk you would order. Okay. Actually, when I was in Texas, there was you talked into a speaker.
Okay.
Just like you would at the drive-through, but you're not driving through. You're in park. You can have your car shut off. You're not in the drive-through. They
A
will
lot
bring
of
your
the
food out. They will bring your food and drinks out on roller skates, and you eat right there. And they have
yeah,
the
a
little
lot.
thing that hangs on your door.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
they have the
awesome.
little thing that hangs on your door, and that's where the food sits.
It
Yeah,
reminds me of Happy Days. That whole time
Happy Days, you know, a lot of those older shows. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Days did it. I don't know. It wasn't a Sonic, but I don't know what
A
it was
and
in Milwaukee. I mean,
W,
they were in Milwaukee area,
A and W,
Wisconsin. So A&W probably.
A and
You know,
Oh
W.
there
yeah.
used to be one in Cortland. I don't know if it's still open.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
I go
Yeah, I
by.
haven't been there. I haven't been there
I,
in years. I mean, my
I go
aunt
by
and
it every
uncle
day.
used to live in McGraw, New York, which is just the other side of Cortland.
Hmm.
okay.
And we used to go into Cortland all the time when I went up
Yeah.
there.
Well, I go there all the time. I go by it every day, almost every day.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But
Oh yeah.
that's one franchise I would recommend going to if you went out that way and saw Sonic, because they will come out if you pull up to the kiosk. They will come out on roller skates and deliver your food and
A lot of the
whatnot.
believe it or not, a lot of the Sonic drive-ins now are not doing roller skates anymore.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of the ones I've been to ones in South Carolina, Ohio, New York. I go to
I
quite
don't
a
know.
bit,
I've never been to one. I never went
and
to one in South Carolina. I went to
they don't.
one I went to a couple in Texas, and they still. I mean,
Yeah,
this is 30 years ago. You know,
yeah, it's changed.
this
It,
is.
Right.
But if they still do it, I would recommend going to it because it's
oh,
an
definitely.
experience. It's
Yeah,
definitely an experience. But
yep.
other than that, eat the local food. Like if you go to
Oh, yeah,
Texas, go to a barbecue. You know, go to a barbecue restaurant.
yeah.
Eat Texas barbecue. You know.
I have a funny story with that. And yes, I absolutely agree with both of you. Wherever you go, try the local food. First
Oh, yeah.
cruise, hold on, first cruise. So hungover. Okay. We went down to the Rainforest Cafe, and I never forget it because they had singers there going, wash, 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 wash. Anyway, I can't remember. I was so hungry that I went up to the buffet and I was just grabbing stuff. And I love eggs Benedict, right? I wasn't even paying attention. I'm telling you, we were in Port Canaveral port for like 8 hours drinking before we even left. Okay. Anyways, no, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not an alcoholic. I'm pretty much aware of what I drink. Anyways, I'm so just fucking hungover. I couldn't even open my eyes, right? And I'm like, oh, eggs Benedict. I don't even know where Jen was. I think she went back to the table. I put two of them on my plate, right? I'm so hungry. I don't even realize what's on top of it. And I put it in my mouth, and Jen's like, what? I go, I spit it out.
What did you put?
It was fresh salmon, cold salmon on top. I did.
Oh,
I didn't even so yes, try the local food, but be aware.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'm sorry. I could.
what you're eating?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's not just
Yeah.
food either.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's so
I
nasty.
had to try it. And it's not in food. It's in alcohol. In Mexico,
The worm.
the worm.
Oh,
You do not taste the worm at all.
Oh,
It
no, I
tastes
don't know how to
like
do that.
it tastes like pure alcohol.
You know, so funny story about that. When we did our excursion in Mexico, where I thought we were going to die 150 times, we stopped at a tequila tasting. Okay, and they only gave you just a little bit, and they like tequila takes like 18 months to make. Okay,
Well, yeah,
and
yeah.
they showed you from beginning to end. The beginning stages. Oh my god, I thought that cold salmon on my food was bad, but the beginning stages of tequila. And it's funny because obviously the tour guide knew the person. And he was like, "Does anybody want to try the worm?" And everyone's like, "Nope,
No way.
nope, no."
I haven't tried any of that stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Never had tequila.
You know,
Well, it's just like, have you guys ever had? I know, Eric, you don't really drink anymore,
Yeah, no.
but you did, right?
No. No.
No,
He's
we
never
never
had a
really
drink.
drank.
No.
Okay. I wasn't sure. Jeff, have you ever had a party just with the buddies? You put alcohol in a cooler and throw fruit in it.
Yeah, Wapatula.
Let it sit. Yeah. They have 1,000 names for it.
Hell yeah.
Jungle juice, different things. Have you eaten the fruit?
Yes, and that's bad. That's very bad.
Yeah, that's what
really?
the worm tasted like.
Oh, because it's
It
drenched.
didn't taste any different. It didn't taste any different than the fruit.
So, so for me, it was watermelon and pineapple. I remember all that. And
we had oranges. We threw in different fruit. We went to the. I mean, we were in the last time I had one of those parties. We were in the army. I was in the army in Germany, and we'd had it planned that we were going to do it on a Saturday. It was supposed to be like 85 degrees out. It was perfect. We were going to grill steaks. We were going to, people were going to bring salad, different sides, and we were going to grill steaks outside of the barracks. We even had some of the married people come into the party. There was a cover charge. You paid, I don't remember what it was. I want to say it was like $20, and you got a steak and all the sides you could eat, and they were good sized steaks. I mean, we're talking London broil style size steaks.
Oh wow, that's good stuff.
And yes, and we went and we were gonna grill them, and we were gonna have this big giant cooler of they called it jungle juice is what they called it. I've heard 1,000 names for it. But the night before we made it, we started it, and then the next morning is when you put the juice in, because you let the alcohol soak into the fruit and soak together. And literally, I'm telling you, Eric, when you're talking about alcohol in it, you just go to the liquor store. You just go to the liquor store and buy whatever.
Vodka,
don't ever buy.
tequila,
You don't buy like 10. You don't buy like 10 bottles of vodka or 10 bottles. You buy
all different kinds.
all different kinds.
Oh my god!
And you just dump it in.
Woo.
And then you put the fruit in. You cut the fruit up. Throw the fruit in. And then then you let it sit for like 12 hours. The next day, you put in the juice. And then
give it a little flavor.
You mix it, obviously, and you just fill it up. And you got to have the cooler. It's best to have the cooler with the little the coolers you buy that have the water drain.
Yes.
Yeah.
The water drain thing. You have that, so that's where you're going to get the stuff out. That way you don't have to open the lid.
So basically, Eric, to make you understand, you ever seen a movie or a TV show where somebody spikes the punch?
Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's basically what it is. It's just this is a giant thing of punch.
Yeah, right.
That's spiked.
But you have to drink it slow.
The funniest part of that story is the night before, as we're getting ready to start making this. Now, I had just gotten in Thursday remember I told you guys that we went to another base to get our new tanks?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we had just gotten back from that. Like Thursday, I got back. And then that's when they said, this is when the party was. And this is why we planned it for this Saturday, because we knew everybody was going to be back. So the night before, like me and like 4 of my buddies are going to be the ones that make this. I don't know what possessed us. I hadn't bought a bottle of alcohol yet. So we went up and I bought a bottle of alcohol. And in Germany on base, we're rationed on how much hard liquor you can buy. You can only buy so much.
That's the real stuff over there.
Well, no, I mean, we even bought, they had American too. They had American stuff too. But what I'm saying is, the reason is if like you buy a bottle of vodka on base, it was so much cheaper than it was out on the German market. They rationed us so that way we weren't buying it at the Army Air Force exchange and selling it to a German.
Right.
That's why they did that. They rationed cigarettes, coffee, tea, and hard liquor.
Hard liquor. Yeah.
Beer was not rationed. You could buy as much beer as you want. That being said, I don't know why why it possessed us to have 2 cases in the fridge in the barracks waiting for us, and each of us to carry a case back when we came back.
Case. Holy cow.
Well, let's just say we had a 3-beer funnel.
Oh,
Funnel with the hose would carry would keep 3 beers in it. And I don't know what possessed the 5 of us to, in that night, have 5 beers left in the morning.
wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a rough. I'm pretty sure in 24 hours I was drunk and sober 3 different times.
You drank yourself sober.
We obviously were drunk that night that we were making the jungle juice.
Yeah.
Because at some point we had for some reason we had an extra bottle of tequila sitting around. So we would put a beer in the funnel, a shot of tequila, a beer, a shot of tequila. And if you know anything about that part of alcohol, beer and tequila don't mix.
No.
So you could literally see in the clear hose where the tequila shot was.
Oh my God.
So you were drinking the beer and then you got the burn. And then you were drinking the beer to cool it down, then you were getting the burn.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yikes.
So we definitely got drunk Friday night. I don't know if we were really sober.
It couldn't have been
Saturday
that.
we put the juice in. We went to breakfast, brunch, because on the weekend the mess hall is only open twice. Like brunch and like I don't know what you would call it, but they're open for like 3 hours each time. But it's like at first they're open to from 8 to 11. And then the second time it's 2 to 5. So, but we went and got breakfast. We came back, and then about 12 o'clock, we started the party, grilling the steak, starting to drink, got drunk again. Me and my roommate decided we're just really messed up. We need a break.
I'd say.
We leave the party. We go up to our room. We end up both passing out,
I was gonna say, yeah.
And we woke up and we'd already eaten. We'd already had the steak and whatnot. So we ordered a pizza. Split the pizza. Then we went back out, and there was about at least pretty close to half of the cooler left. So started drinking again.
Jeez.
Sunday was a really long day.
Well, I bet.
Really long day. But that's what single soldiers did when they're in the military. Because
it couldn't have been that. It couldn't have been that bad. You remember the whole story, so right.
I remember the key parts. I don't remember a whole lot. I don't remember how we went from 7 cases of beer down to 5. Except for the fact that a funnel was involved.
Oh boy.
And at one point tequila got added to the funnel.
God, no.
That's all I know about that part of the story. And then I remember going to breakfast, and I remember eating the steak and starting to drink the jungle juice.
So you don't remember seeing the steak and the pizza in the toilet?
I don't remember I don't know if any of us got sick. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I know there was a lot of people there. We had probably 5 grills going.
Wow. Jeez. I don't know how somebody didn't get sick. I
have no clue. I don't know if I did or not, to be honest. I just know Sunday took a lot to get going around, especially being that you have to make sure by Monday you have a uniform ready, you have your boots shine, you have, and you're ready to probably wake up Monday morning and run 5 miles,
Oh my God, that's the worst part. Running.
But you know what? I was 21, so you know what?
Yeah.
I could do it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not getting up after a night of drinking and going to run 5 miles. I'm letting you know right now.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm just telling you, the nightlife, that's the one thing that'll get you if you have to be somewhere, is the nightlife in Europe. is different than it is here.
Oh,
Here,
I'm sure.
here, let's face it, it starts what, 7, 8 o'clock at night, usually, maybe a little later.
Okay.
Ends at 2 because bars close at 2, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, yeah.
What, you know, I know, and I believe in New York State it still is. They have to close by 2 o'clock, right?
I think
2
so.
a.m. Huh? Yeah,
I
think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it still is. I know in Texas was the same.
Okay.
At 2 a.m. they had to close.
Okay.
They got twice a year at our favorite bar in Texas was the Hard Rock. In El Paso. I know twice a year they got extended, like 3 times a year. Daylight savings time both ways. They were allowed to stay open an extra hour.
Okay. Yeah.
And New Year's they were allowed to stay over an extra hour, maybe 2. But in Germany now, it's different. The nightlife doesn't start till like 9, 10 o'clock.
Right.
Like a couple hours later.
Really?
Wonder why they go till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Because most people in Germany don't have to be to work at 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. They don't go in. They don't go in till they go in after late morning or early afternoon because lunch is their big meal of the day.
Oh, okay.
You know, ours is dinner. Theirs is lunch.
Lunch, right?
Lunch is a bigger meal in that part of Europe. So they would work later because if they're going to work, I don't know if they work 8-hour shifts. I don't know.
Right.
I know 8 hours, 5 days a week became the standard in America. I don't know if that's the standard there.
No, I don't think so. I think it's 6 hours a day, probably.
Yeah, I think it's 6 hours. So they might come in, let's say, at 11 in the morning, and they work till 5.
Yeah. Right. Makes sense. Yeah.
And then they go home, they have a dinner, and then they go out.
Yeah.
So their nightlife just starts later, you know?
Yeah. Same but later.
You know, so yeah. So their nightlife is different. It'll get you if you decide to stay out with them, with the Germans, and expect to come back and do the army thing when you're supposed to do the army thing.
Oh,
They got us a few times. Definitely got us a few times. I literally remember a couple times changing into our PT uniform at the bar in the bathroom, getting out of a taxi cab, running up the hill, throwing our duffel bag behind a bush next to the barracks, stepping into formation, barely able to stand straight and run off the night before.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you didn't do that too often because then you're like, oh my God, I got to sleep.
Yep.
Right.
I need sleep.
Exactly. Wow.
But
crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
but if we go to Europe after we retire, we're not in a hurry, so we can stay out as late as we freaking want. So
that's true.
We can do whatever we want.
So I think that's the moral of this show and our bucket list is basically not to do whatever we want, but to be able to do what we want.
Things.
Yeah, but without having
having a time restriction.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like, you know, but I think that's the biggest thing is just like, I don't want to be sitting there and be like, oh, I gotta, you know, it's Friday, you know, oh, vacation's almost over. I gotta go be at work at 3 days. I don't want to worry about that. That's the thing. I think that's the key is not have the time restriction.
Well, it's
you know, be like, you know what? I like, you know, like we go on a cruise. Well, not on a cruise. If we go on a cruise, we gotta be ready to go when the boat's ready to go. Otherwise, we gotta find our own ride home. If we're out on a like if we rent a giant RV and we all take an RV trip somewhere and we're like, you know what? This location in I don't know in Alaska, we like it so much. I know we were leaving tomorrow, but you know what? Let's stay another week. You know, we don't have to be back. You know, let's stay. Let's see more, or wherever we are,
Yeah.
Like if we
agree.
went on, if we flew over to Europe and we're around Europe and we're like, you know what? We really like this place here in Portugal.
Yeah.
Let's stay another week,
But
we
like
don't,
I want to go.
I don't
I
want
wanna
to
go
have
to-
don't want an itinerary.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I
Go ahead,
want to
Eric.
go to.
My wife, I told you guys, my wife's family used to always do a yearly vacation. But her cousin would always have an itinerary, like doing this, we're doing that. I'm like, oh, I don't want an itinerary.
Yep.
I want to wake up and be like, you know what? Like at one point we never went, but at one point we were going to go to Tennessee, near is it the Ozark Mountains?
Sounds right.
There's a mountain range down through there, and I
Smoky
don't remember. I
Mountains?
want to say the Ozark. It was
Smoky
kind of
Mountains.
like eastern Tennessee.
Uh-huh.
I think it's the Ozark Mountains. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But I was like, you know what? I would love to. I was just really getting into my motorcycle riding and whatnot. And I'm like, I'd really love to have my motorcycle. We do this. And one day just say, you know what? Don't expect to see me today. I want to get on the motorcycle. I want to ride through the mountains. A nice, slow, not even, like trying to take the corners fast, and just a breeze through the mountains, on my motorcycle, I'm like,
yeah, it's awesome.
That's the kind of thing I want.
Absolutely.
Something like that, where I wake up and be like, oh, it's raining. Well, I guess I'm not going to do my motorcycle trip. I'll do it tomorrow.
Right.
But the schedule says I have to do my motorcycle trip today. No.
Right.
I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
No itinerary. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's why another thing in a foreign market, what I want to do is I want to go to Le Mans, France.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to go to the 24 hours of Le Mans, but I don't want to do it until I retire, so I can go over there for about 20 days, because it takes about that to get over there, and it takes almost like half a week to get over there. Time you're playing and all that stuff, and you got to go through all their systems you have to do. It isn't like you can just jump on a plane and go over there. It's all this stuff. It's a language barrier. You got to know how to speak. It's tough. Everything's a challenge.
The good thing is most countries you go to now, there's most people speak English. Yeah. At least, I mean, they might have you might have to talk slow. They might have to talk slower, but most countries, it's kind of and I guess in a way, first of all, we can thank England for that partially, and us and our military, I guess, because I mean, what was the saying? What was the saying 50 years ago, 100 years ago? The sun never sets on the British Empire. Because they own so much land here and there. Well, now I guess you could almost say that about America.
Yeah.
The sun never sets on the American Empire, at least because technically, like, and I know you guys have heard this before. If you go, let's say, to Okinawa, which is in Japan, and you're on the military base, technically you are not in Japan.
Right.
Technically, you are on U.S. soil. Right. Inside the confines of that base is owned by the United States government.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They do contract some of the work out to outside contractors, but that's anywhere. Mm-hmm. But it is owned by the U.S. government inside the confines of that.
Yeah, it's negotiated.
Base.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we have our base there.
Right. So I guess in a way you can thank both of those, the military and the British for the world. Most of the world speak in English.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I know about the Le Mans France, I have friends that go over to that race. And they said that's the biggest challenge is when you get like a taxi or if you rent a car, it's just hard to get around. Like here we can say, hey, I want.
Yeah, probably the taxi drivers, I mean,
it's hard to get around.
Nothing against taxi drivers.
No, it just,
I'm not saying nothing against them, but I mean, what kind of an education do you really need to be a taxi driver? I mean,
Right.
you know, I have nothing against taxi drivers.
Yeah.
I love taxi drivers. They've gotten me many places over the years. But, and there are some that are well educated.
All right. Well,
they like to drive.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to go get the CDL. They don't want to go get the CDL. They like people. They like taking people places.
Right.
And that's great. But, you know, let's face it, some of them, you know, what education do you really need?
Yeah.
You only need, I don't even know if other countries you need this, but I know in America you need to get the livery license, endorsement. Livery. Yeah, you have to get that endorsement.
Mm-hmm.
Is that hard? I don't know.
No.
It's probably not all that hard.
No. So, chauffeur license, yeah.
We're coming up on our time limit, but Eric, go ahead. Just finish what you were saying real quick.
Yeah, so, I mean, because there's so many people over there. I mean, there's 400,000 people that go to this race.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of the biggest races in the world. You know, and it's everybody's trying to get to the race all at once, and it just makes it tough. You know, you know, like when you're going to a country, it's a foreign country, and you're not aware, especially your first time.
Yeah.
Right.
You're thinking the hotel's 5 miles away, but it actually is 20 miles away, and then you got to find your way. You know, if you don't have a car and you got to depend on all these people, and they take you the long way around, and the next thing you know, you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So it's I want to try to go with somebody that's been there when I go the first time.
Yeah. It's in Europe, right? Obviously. Yeah.
France.
A good thing is if it's like if you get a hotel a little farther away, is the train is really good over there. All of the trains over there are really good. And basically, you just have to know where you're going, and they'll get you as close as you can. You might need a taxi from the train station,
right?
You know, but the train system is really good over there.
Okay. Yeah. No, then in the currency, you know, the currency, your money, you got.
Well, now, definitely learn, like, take their currency. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's been a few times that every time we went downtown. And now it's euro. Now you can use the euro, I think, in any European country, I think. But they still all have their own currency.
Yeah.
Right. Like in Germany was the mark.
Yeah.
It's called the Deutschmark.
It's part of traveling. I mean, it's
if we were downtown and we needed a cab ride home.
Yeah.
And we just happen to run out of Deutschmarks. The taxi will take your American dollar.
Oh, they charge you for it.
They don't. I usually made sure we had enough on us after about once or twice when we would hand them American dollars. And they're like, and you could tell that they're like, well, we got to convert it. And I never saw a calculator come out.
Right.
So you're telling me this person that's possibly less educated than the average human driving a taxi cab for a living.
Yeah.
Right.
Just converted Deutschmarks to American dollars in their head and gave me so much marks back to equal the $20 bill I just handed over.
Right. You might win out, but probably not.
No, probably not. I'm pretty sure I just gave them a pretty decent tip.
Yep. So, no, we're just close to our time. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for listening to us. I want to say thank you to George and Eric. There's always a bunch of stuff that we just do on this show. We're just limited on time, space, to our listeners, but be on the lookout for Eric's upcoming solo project, The Walking Dead, the Chronicles, George Muzzey's Chronicles. I probably just butchered that. And Eric and Hisson are going to talk about racing and NASCAR and all that. And of course, I got my own little thing. But thank you. This has been JK'z Garage Hour. We are out. Oh, Jesus.